What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the show. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we got a mailbag where it's just me and you talking about the Minnesota Vikings. And the first question coming in here from Purple People Eater. Who is the most underrated player on the Minnesota Vikings? All right, so we're not talking the Jeffersons. We're not talking the Darisaws. Easy. Just came to my head. Jordan Mason, 100%. I think he's a top 10 running back in the league. I think for fantasy football players, even though it will be a split backfield, you could probably get him later in your draft. I think Jordan Mason's going to have a monster year. All of the advanced numbers at the running back position, like rushing yards over expected versus like a stacked box, yards after contact, all of these like advanced numbers for the running back, Jordan Mason excels in them. And if you go look at like a flow chart from last year on some of those advanced stats, it's like Jordan Mason, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, they're all at the top. So most underrated on offense, I'll go Jordan Mason. Underrated on defense, he's not underrated to Vikings fans, but I think across NFL he is. Blake Cashman, one of the most underrated linebackers in the league. So I'll go Jordan Mason, Blake Cashman. Shout out to those two dogs. Alan Lone Wolf coming in. Do you think this is the last go-around for the Hitman and stats from this year? I do think this is the last go-around for Harry. Apparently Kevin O'Connell had to kind of pull him out of retirement this offseason, so I definitely think this is the last year. Stats from this year, I'm more curious how often he's going to play. You know, obviously Flores runs 3 safety sets 97% of the time, so I would expect him to be on the field majority of snaps, but I'll probably say he's got, give me 5 interceptions for the Hitman as a little closeout year to a beautiful, beautiful career. Most underrated safety over the last 15 years. Shout out to the Hitman. Corey Miller, what's going on, Brody? Skull, Pat Seeps, stat predictions for Dallas Turner. So hopefully DT gets more playing time than he did last season. I think he will. I just think Flores would be more, just more aware of him getting on the field, whether that's like Van Ginkel takes a couple more plays off or maybe he shifts into more of a hybrid linebacker edge role. Stat predictions, I'll probably say 8-9 sacks for Turner. If he gets to double digits, that'll be awesome. I think it's just going to come down to playing time, but saw a couple of videos of him working out. He looks like he put on about 10 pounds of muscle. He's still looking freaky just in terms of his athletic ability, like his bend. He's got to probably have crazy flexible hips just because some of the stuff he does is just, he's in that top 1% of athletes in the world. So I'll go 8.5 to 9 sacks for Dallas Turner. Abby Skoll, question of the year. Why do people act like JJ was a 7th-round pick who is missing a leg? I don't know. This is referring to, we were doing a show talking about ESPN and just, every person was talking about the Minnesota Vikings like, oh, well, you got JJ McCarthy as your starting quarterback. You can't possibly be good year one. He wasn't a 7th-rounder. Like, people still write articles. Seth Walder did of ESPN saying he tore his ACL last year. Just wrong. This guy was a 10th overall pick. He was picked out by Kevin O'Connell in a loaded quarterback draft. That's all you need to know on JJ. Kevin O'Connell is probably one of the smartest quarterback minds in the NFL, and he saw JJ in a stacked draft class and was like, that's my guy. We want him. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why people have blinders on with JJ. I think it just all comes back to their pre-draft scouting report they had on him, where it was like, oh, he was a handoff merchant. He didn't throw the ball in the second half against Penn State. Like we know the whole story there. I don't know. We'll see though. We'll see. I think he's gonna prove a lot of people wrong. El Jefe, do you think KOC will give up the play calling duties? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think that would ever be a possibility. I mean, that's his calling card. Like, that's what got him hired to be, the head coach is, him being a lead offensive mind. I mean, if he ever gives up the play calling duties, I'm assuming his seat's getting a little warm. But, like, this whole next season, he's not. And plus, I want to have, like, him and JJ build that connection for years to come. Because let's just say, it's tough to win a Super Bowl. Let's say the Vikings don't win a Super Bowl when McCarthy's on his rookie deal, but he looks like a legit guy. Like, still just having those two build that continuity and that chemistry with each other, I think will be huge. So I hope he never gives up play calling duties, but if he does, probably means he's on the hot seat a little bit. But yeah, I would probably say no to that question. Let me ask you guys this. A lot of optimism around the Vikings heading into next season. What is your biggest concern heading into next year? Can't say the quarterback. You cannot say J.J. McCarthy. Besides that, because that's an obvious concern, first year starting, yada, yada, yada. But besides that, what is your biggest concern? For me, I will probably just go the cornerback position. Like, can Byron Murphy replicate what he did last year? And can a guy like Rodgers or Blackman step up? That'll probably be my biggest concern. But you guys, let me know your thoughts down below. We'll get to more of your guys' questions here in a sec. But first, if you guys want to get a Vikings hoodie today, they're 50% off at chatsports.com/Vikings hoodie. Just click that link. They got a ton of sweatshirts and hoodies on clearance right now. And, big reason for that, it's the summertime. It's hot. So if you guys want to kind of prepare for the colder months in Minneapolis and take advantage of a sweet deal we have going on right now, chatsports.com/Vikings hoodie. Click that link. This one is absolutely fresh. Got that link for you guys in the comment section and description of today's show. But chatsports.com/Vikings hoodie. Get a hoodie to up to 50% off. Make sure you guys click that link and get yourself some more Vikings gear today. They're going to be flying off the shelf, so make sure you guys do take advantage of this deal. Tommy Wood, what's going on? You have any concerns with Darisaw? They're listing Jackson as a left tackle. Are they really? Because Kevin O'Connell said Wednesday that he was getting spot starts at the left guard spot. I don't know where you saw that, Tommy, but concerns with Darisaw, not really. KOC talked about it a couple months ago, saying he'll be hopefully ready to go for week one. Even if he, does have to miss week one, it would be disappointing. But, if I have any news that comes out on Darisaw, we'll obviously talk about it. But really no, big-time concerns for him. When he's playing, he's one of the best left tackles, if not the best left tackle in the league. I was even seeing Brian Baldinger. He posted a highlight video of Darisaw the other day, and I was just like, man, it's incredible that the Vikings were able to win 9 straight games last year without Darisaw. He is that impactful. He made Blake Brandel look so much better than people realize. So I don't have a concern there. Not sure about the Donovan Jackson thing, but Tommy Wood, I appreciate you, Brody. Chicken Muncher, what a name. #Vikings. What do you think is the weakest, or what do you think is the Vikings is the weakest position group? I got to go with the secondary. I got to go with cornerback 2, cornerback 3. If you're just banking on Byron Murphy kind of replicating what he did last year, you got to hope Mekhi Blackman and or Isaiah Rodgers steps up. So I would definitely say the secondary. Maybe you could go like depth at linebacker, but I'll see. Chicken Muncher, I appreciate you. Trey Brown saying predict Madden 26 ratings for the Vikings. Well, Jefferson will be a 99. I think Darisaw would be like a 94. Addison like an 88. I'm trying to think of some of these big-time names. Hawkinson will probably be up there like an 87, 86. I think Hargrave and Allen will both be around like 84s. Grenard should be at like a 92. Van Ginkel, maybe he'll be up there at like 88, 89. Trying to think of any other. Byron Murphy, maybe like an 85. We'll see. But shout out to you, Trey Brown. Rob Jigga, what's going on, man? Seeps, Tankathon has you guys drafting 18th overall in the first in 2026. So Tankathon has the Vikings. I think that would just be just missing the playoffs. By that, I hope they're not drafting 18th. Hopefully they're drafting, in the 30s or just the high 20s. But we'll see what happens. I'm very optimistic about this team. I understand some Vikings fans are just naturally pessimistic about their football team because of the battle scars that we've endured over the last 20 years. But maybe I drink too much purple Kool-Aid, but I think this team's going to be special next season. Abby Skoll, out of all the players the Vikings brought in this offseason, who will have the biggest impact? Allen, Hargrave, Mason, or someone else? Honestly, I think it might be Jordan Mason. I'm really high on this guy. I think he is one of the most underrated running backs in the National Football League. And hopefully, with having a guy like him next to Aaron Jones, with bringing in Kelly and Fries, and just having the natural, smart mind that Kevin O'Connell is, hopefully they're able to run the ball more. And also, the Vikings, they were terrible running the ball on the goal line. They're actually the worst team in the National Football League, which is insane considering they won 14 games. So hopefully he ends up change that around. If you guys don't believe me, literally just go watch Jordan Mason highlights on YouTube. He passes the eye test, passes the highlight test, and he also passes the advanced analytics test. One of the best RYOE guys in the NFL. He's up there with Saquon and Derrick Henry this past season. So I think Jordan Mason will make a massive, massive impact. Corey Miller, what do you think of what do you make of JJ's pressers? He's impressed me a lot. Yeah, I mean, anytime he talks, he impresses me. Just a very well-spoken kid. He is way more mature than a 22-year-old should be. And, also think about it, like, he's QB1 for a billion-dollar company. He's the most important person in this entire Vikings organization. He's having a kid. He's engaged. Like, even though he is 22, he's a very mature, person for his age. And I just love his thought process on everything in life, just how he talks, how he handles himself. That's also a big reason why I am a believer in J.J. McCarthy. But, yeah, I mean, his presser really, really impressed me. Alan, who do you think is going to get more reps, Jones or Mason, this season? I think it's going to start off Aaron Jones, but I think by the end of the year, I think Jordan Mason might be top dog. Jordan Mason's a stud. I will pound the table for him this entire offseason. I think he's going to be absolutely fantastic. So shout out to Jordan Mason, man. He's going to do big time things this year, and we'll wait and see. But I definitely still think Aaron Jones will make an impact. But who knows? Who knows? But if you guys could hit that subscribe button on your way out, help us reach 57,000 subs. We appreciate all of you guys watching today's show, and we'll see y'all next time. As always, Skol Vikes.